campus consisted of half a dozen buildings of vastly different architectural styles, arranged in a semicircle around a central lawn. In a former life, a small private university had called the campus home, and the lawn was known as a quad. When the university filed for bankruptcy, Eamon purchased the land and decided to keep the old Gothic Revival-era buildings. They were made of gray stone with vaulted doorways, carved balustrades, and faux ramparts. Green vines crawled up them, carefully maintained so as not to cause structural damage to the aging stone. Belying their outward appearances, the building's innards had been modernized and ran on completely renewable energy, mostly solar, fitting for the largest researcher and manufacturer of consumer-friendly solar generation technology in the United States. In stark contrast to the Gothic style, the headquarters building stood at the north end of the quad, imposing and modern. Two sheer glass walls swept inward and met at steel-framed double doors. Bold silver letters atop the entryway spelled out the company name, Fisk Industries. Eliana was within sight of the lobby entrance when Senator Caldwell parted ways with a straight-mouthed, short-haired woman to intercept her.
"Mrs. Fisk,"
the senator said, pocketing the woman's business card. Eliana caught a glimpse of the name on the front of the card. As it disappeared into his pocket, it read, Hawkwood.
"Quite the event. You look splendid, by the way."
She thought she looked nice as well, but she recognized his compliment as a strategic opening. "Thank you," she said.
"Wes McManus tells me you're an accomplished archaeologist."
She tried to keep her face neutral. "And how much I'd rather be on the coast of Turkey, dusting off the ruins of Ephesus, than talking to you." No, she reprimanded herself. She had chosen to leave that life behind. She had volunteered for this job. She forced a smile. "That's correct."
"I'd love to tell you about our efforts to raise money for the Young Scholars Association, if you're interested. It would be great to have someone like you involved."
She barely repressed a sigh. Wes McManus had a big mouth. One of these days, someone would want her for her own work, and not for her husband's money. It seemed that day was not today. "I'd love to hear more," she said, "but I really must be going. The demonstration is about to begin."
"No worries. No trouble at all. Don't let me hold you up,"
the senator said with a smile. She'd be fooling herself to think that would discourage him from trying again later. Several more people took the opportunity to intercept Eliana, fishing for hints of the demonstration to come. She carefully parried their questions. The only facts Fisk Industries had confirmed in the press releases leading up to the event were that Eamon's invention was the result of 10 years of work, and that it would change the face of space travel forever. The PR agency's words, not hers. She would have been more subtle. Finally, she strode past the portable stage and crossed to the glass-fronted face of the headquarters building. As her quick steps rang on the tile floors, she checked the clock on the lobby wall. Crap, she thought. Late already. She rotated her wedding band on her finger. Normally, she wore her diamond engagement ring to a big event like this, Eamon's mother's ring, a family heirloom. But she'd lost that classic gem in Cairo last year, along with the tattered shreds of her once promising career. She didn't realize the ring was missing until the plane lifted away from the runway in Cairo. She'd begged the flight attendants to halt the plane. They seemed to be sympathetic to her situation and relayed the message to the cockpit, but the pilot refused to turn around. When she got home, Eliana dropped her bags in her room and collapsed onto the bed. She pulled the blanket over her head to close out the world. By the time Eamon returned from his business trip to New York, Eliana was a complete wreck. Rock and roll blared from the house-wide speaker system. Her suitcase and purse seemed to have exploded in their bedroom, and the trail of debris led him to the master bath. Eamon turned down the music as he entered. He sat on the edge of the tub. "Sweetheart, the water is freezing." She tipped a wine bottle to her mouth and took a